Legendary.
Welcome to another top 5 with Kris O Five, guys. Today we will be looking at the top 5 decks for Legend after the May Nerfs in Hearthstone. Just keep in mind that the buffs in June will surely shake up the meta again, so if you're low on dust, maybe wait a little and see what is worth your hard-earned dust then. We will be playing some of those decks tonight on stream too, so maybe drop by and see them in action. Check out my new rig, it's amazing.
That's how I roll. Dust like a wreck, start killing foes. Secret spells, that's how it is. Drop it to my side now, that's the shiz. Secret spells.
Let's get into it. The first deck on the list is the one I used to climb to Legend with this month, Murloc Shaman. This is a really solid deck right now, and it feels very well rounded. The main goal with this is to control the board and pull off a huge one-turn push for crazy amounts of damage, a lot like Token Druid. It has a really solid mid and late game plan too, with cards like the 2 Hagatas and SZAwA. A lot of people don't really see the point in those, especially for the SZAwA, but these 3 are amazing against warriors and other control decks, so they are really valuable. You could definitely try the deck without them, but for me they are pretty worth it and very fun to play with as well. Most of the popular decks are really good matchups for you, especially when you have a decent curve. Zoolock is a good counter for you, and Token Druid ain't no picnic either. Warriors are supposed to be good against you, but with the free cards we talked about earlier, you should really have no problems against them, as long as you know how to play against them and utilize your huge value. Tempo Rogue was also problematic, but you won't see that too much anymore. If you don't have the dust for the free legendaries, you can include a Bluegill Warrior, maybe a Hex, or some other Murloc or tech choice. For the Mulligan, Anglers and Tide Callers are always a keep, no questions asked. Tide Hunters are also a safe choice. Sludge Slurper is also a nice keep, but be careful playing it, because it's no fun having 1 mana on turn 2. A better idea would be to keep that for the Angler Psycho instead. Overall, the deck is really fun to play and it takes some skill to figure it out, but once you get it right, you will have an easy climb for sure. I had a lot of winning streaks as well as several losing streaks with it, so don't give up and keep on pushing. Next we have Hunter. Right now we have 3 highly competitive Hunter decks, but Secret Hunter is at the top, so let's talk about that. Secret Hunter is very consistent in the current meta, so if it's easy ranks you're looking for, then you should probably check this deck out. Most of its matchups are very favorable, and the only real bad matchup for it would be the Token Druid. This particular deck is also not bad against the warriors, so if you want to play some Hunter, this would be your perfect choice. For the Mulligan, Secret Keeper and a secret to go with it are always a keep. If you're going first, keeping a Rat Trap is a good idea, since they will probably play free cards in a turn with the coin, or you will at least prevent them from doing that. If you're playing against a slower deck, even Subject 9 would be a good keep then. Secret Hunter really shined in the previous meta, since it was good against both Tempo Rogue and the warriors, but the deck is still strong even with those 2 matchups getting less popular. If you don't like the Secret archetype, you can check out Mech Hunter and Midrange Hunter instead. All of the codes are in the description. Moving down to Token Druid. This deck remains in the tier 1 since my last video. It's still very annoying to play against, and there will be a lot of times where you feel like there is nothing you can do against it. And you would probably be right. It's not an easy deck to pilot, but if you master it, you will be climbing high ranks in no time. With this deck, you just want to flood the board and kill your opponent in 1 or 2 turns. Knowing when and how to trade and calculating the needed damage for lethal in the next turn is very important. You are very well prepared for the mid and late game too, with the Twin Spell, which somehow dodged the nerfs. From the popular decks, it only has 1 really bad matchup, and that is Zoolock. Other than that, anything else is close to 50% or very much in your favor. For the Mulligan, you always keep your 1-drops and Dreamy Guardians. Whispering Woods also makes sense when you can maintain a good hand by turn 4 or 5, and against the faster decks you can keep a swipe as well. Playing this deck will surely help you climb ranks, but you can be sure you will meet a lot of salty players on your way, so it's probably best not to add anyone after winning with this deck. On the next spot we have Zoolock. This deck is still going strong, especially after the rogue nerfs. The main reason for that is that the warriors are not as popular anymore, and that was the main bad matchup for Zoo. Your games will be fast and most of the time easy, so this deck would be perfect for a last minute climb. Your only bad matchups are warriors, but you're very well prepared against anything else. Rogue and Big Shaman are not that popular, and the best performing decks in the current meta are one of your best matchups, so it has that going for it too. For the Mulligan, you always keep some good 1-drops, an Evil Genius, a Scarabag, and maybe even a Carpet. Against opponents with whiteboards, keeping a Giant is a good idea. You could actually try this deck without Rafam, and some people even prefer it without him, but for me it's a pretty cool and fun card, so I'd keep it. Solarium is also a decent card, but if you don't have it, you can try the deck without it too. And the last deck for this list will be the new Mech Paladin. This deck is not amazing yet, but it should rise in popularity and in power as soon as the new mech buffs drop. A dude from my stream showed me this deck, and I have to say it does look quite promising. Thanks, Trim. It includes 2 cards that are getting buffed, and it will include the new Snip Snap legendary too. Not much I can say for the matchups yet, since there are not that many games with this deck, and they won't really be accurate without the buffs applied. For the mulligan, you can either take it slow, playing it as a hand deck, so you can buff up a ton of cards, or you can play your early mechs on curve. Keeping Crystology is always a good idea, and a Zilliax can really help you out if you magnetize it to some mech. Again, this deck is only a prototype, and I don't advise you to try climbing to Legend with it yet, but it is definitely a deck worth checking out after the new mech buffs drop. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you're able to climb some serious ranks with these in the last few days of the May season. Hope to see you on my stream tonight as well. Thanks for watching, I'm Kris O Five, and I'll see you in my next video.